I'll write an engaging 800-word story for Part 1, first contact in third-person style, using simple English and Korean names. I'll make sure it's interesting while keeping the language accessible. The stars twinkled in the night sky as the massive alien ship entered Earth's orbit. It was the year 2157, and humanity was about to meet their first visitors from another world. Han stood at the window of the International Space Center, his hands clasped behind his back. As Earth's top diplomat, he had prepared for this moment his entire life. The alien ship was beautiful, shaped like a silver leaf and smooth as glass. "Sir, they're sending a message," said June, his young assistant. Her voice was steady, but her eyes were wide with excitement. Han nodded. "Put it on the main screen." The alien that appeared looked almost like a tall human with blue skin and large eyes. It spoke in a musical language that the computer quickly translated. "People of Earth, we are the Vax. We come in peace to welcome you to the galactic community." 6 hours later, Han stood in a large white room specially built for this meeting. 5 alien representatives entered, their movements graceful and controlled. The leader, who called himself Captain Do, bowed slightly. "Ambassador Han, we thank you for this welcome," said Captain Do. "Many new species greet us with weapons ready. You offer us food and music instead." Han smiled. "The people of Earth believe in peace first. We would rather make friends than enemies." The aliens looked at each other. They seemed confused by this approach. "Your history shows many wars," said a female alien named Min. "Yet you speak of peace." "We learn from our past," Han replied. "War taught us that talking solves more problems than fighting." The meeting lasted for hours. The aliens asked about Earth's technology, government, and military. Han answered honestly but carefully. He knew that first impressions mattered. "You have nuclear weapons that could destroy your own planet," said Captain Do. "Yet you use nuclear power mostly for energy." Han nodded. "We created many weapons before we understood their true cost. Now we keep them only to protect ourselves, not to attack others." After the meeting, Han returned to his office where June, the head of Earth Defense, waited for him. "What do you think?" June asked. "Can we trust them?" Han sat down slowly. "They're curious about us. They kept asking about our weapons but seemed disappointed when I talked about our hospitals and farms." June frowned. "That's not a good sign." "No," Han agreed. "But they didn't lie to us. They just didn't tell us everything." The next day, Captain Do invited Han to visit their ship. Inside, Han saw technology beyond his imagination. The walls seemed alive, changing color as they walked. Doors opened without a sound or touch. "Your ship is amazing," Han said honestly. Captain Do nodded. "We are part of the Galactic Council, 12 species who work together to find new worlds and new friends." "And what happens to these new friends?" Han asked. Captain Do smiled, but his eyes stayed cold. "They join us. Some become full members, others find their place." That night, Han met with Earth's leaders. On screens around the world, presidents and prime ministers listened as he spoke. "They're testing us," Han explained. "They want to know if we're a threat." "Are we?" asked the president of the African Union. Han shook his head. "Not in the way they think. They value military power above all else. They don't understand why a species with our technology focuses on medicine and food production." "So what do we do?" asked the Prime Minister of Oceania. "We show them who we really are," Han replied. "We invite them to our schools, hospitals, and farms. We hide nothing, including our defensive capabilities." 2 weeks later, the aliens prepared to leave Earth. Before they left, they invited Han to a final meeting. "We have decided that humans are Category 3, developing non-threat species," Captain Do announced. "You will be allowed limited trade with Council worlds." Han kept his face neutral, though inside he felt both relief and worry. "Thank you for this opportunity. We look forward to learning from you." As the alien ship disappeared into the stars, Han and June stood watching from the control room. "Category 3, June said quietly. "They think we're harmless." Han smiled slightly. Let them think that for now. We have time to prepare. Prepare for what? June asked. For the day they learned that peaceful doesn't mean weak, Han replied. Earth has never faced an outside threat before, but if history teaches us anything, it's that humans are at their strongest when they work together. June nodded. And we'll be ready, not for war, but for whatever comes next. As night fell over Earth, millions of people looked up at the stars with new eyes. The universe had just become much bigger and much more complicated. But humans were good at adaptation. They always had been. 5 years after first contact, the human delegation stepped onto the grand silver platform of the Galactic Council, headquarters. The massive space station orbited a beautiful blue-green gas giant, its rings shimmering in the light of twin suns. Sue looked around with wide eyes. As Earth's top scientist diplomat, she had been chosen to represent humanity at the Galactic Academy. The aliens around her came in all shapes and sizes. Some had 4 arms, others floated on cushions of air, and a few looked almost human except for their colorful skin. Welcome, Dr. Sue, said Tor, her Vax guide. You are the first human accepted to our academy. This is a great honor. Sue nodded, politely. Thank you for this opportunity. I hope to learn much from all species here. The academy was bigger than any university on Earth. Its library contained knowledge from thousands of years and hundreds of worlds. Sue spent her days studying alien science and sharing human discoveries. Most aliens were friendly, but some watched humans with cold eyes. The Vax, who had first contacted Earth, were especially hard to understand. They smiled and spoke of friendship, but Sue noticed how they studied human weaknesses. One day, Sue found an old data room that few people used. Inside were records from planets that had joined the Galactic Council long ago. Computer, show me the history of Category 3 species, she asked. The screen filled with information that made Sue's blood run cold. Species labeled as non-threats were slowly pushed aside over time. Their resources were taken, their colonies limited, and their people sometimes used for work that other species didn't want to do. This can't be right, Sue whispered to herself. That night she sent an encrypted message back to Earth. We need to be careful. The friendly face may hide other plans. Meanwhile, on the far edge of human space, Captain Gill stood on the bridge of the Earthship Peacekeeper. 3 Vax ships had entered human territory for the 5th time that month. Sir, they claim they're lost again, said his first officer, Day. Gill sighed. Just like last week and the week before, the Vax ships moved slowly, scanning everything. They weren't even trying to hide what they were doing. What are your orders, sir? Day asked. Follow standard protocol, Gill replied. Escort them back. To the border. Be polite but firm, and record everything. Back on Earth, Director Na reviewed the reports from both Sue and Gill. The pattern was clear. The Vax were testing human boundaries, looking for weaknesses. What do you recommend? Asked the World Council leader. Patience, Na replied. Let them think we're simple and trusting. Meanwhile, we prepare. The next day, another Vax ship, accidentally, crossed into Earth space. This time they landed on a small human mining colony before Gill's ship could reach them. The Vax captain met with the colony leader, asking many questions about Earth's defense systems. We worry about your safety, the Vax said. There are dangerous species in this sector. The colony leader, who had been briefed by Director Na, smiled and answered every question with carefully planned half-truths. We're just simple miners, she said. Earth protects us, but we don't know much about military matters. When the Vax finally left, they seemed satisfied. That night, deep beneath the colony's surface, the real work continued. Engineers built defense systems hidden inside ordinary-looking buildings. Computer experts created networks that could not be detected by alien scans. Back at the academy, Sue found her alien friend Min in the library. I noticed something strange, Sue said carefully. Many Category 3 species from the past don't seem to exist anymore. Min looked around nervously. Be careful asking such questions, human. The Council has ways of dealing with curious species. Are we in danger? Sue asked directly. Min didn't answer right away. Finally, she whispered, "The Vax see your peaceful nature as weakness. They don't understand a species that has power but chooses not to use it." Sue nodded slowly. "Thank you for your honesty." That night, Sue sent another message to Earth. "Time is running out. They're moving faster than we expected." Director Na read the message and called an emergency meeting. "Send another polite note about border violations," Na ordered. "Keep playing the role they expect, but activate Phase 2 of our preparations." Across human space, quiet preparations began. The Vax would learn soon enough that peaceful didn't mean helpless. The situation between humans and the Vax grew worse each month. What started as small border violations had become serious problems. The Vax Empire now regularly sent ships into human space without permission. They acted as if human territory was already theirs. Admiral Joe sat in the command center of Earth's Defense Headquarters. The large screen showed 12 red dots moving toward the human colony of New Hope. "Another exploration fleet?" Joe asked, making air quotes with her fingers. Colonel Ha nodded. "Yes, Admiral. The third this month. They claim they're studying space weather patterns." Joe had been fighting this shadow war for months. The Vax never attacked directly. Instead, they pushed a little more each time, watching how humans would respond. "Implement Protocol Velvet Glove," Joe ordered. "Track them, but keep our main fleet hidden. Let them see only our older ships." This was the careful dance humans had performed since first contact. Show some strength, but never too much. Let the Vax think they knew everything about human capabilities. On to you. The colony world of New Hope, Governor Tay watched the Vax ships through his office window. The alien vessels hung in the sky like silver knives. His assistant rushed in. "Sir, they're requesting permission to land for cultural exchange." Tay sighed. "Tell them they may land one small ship with 10 representatives maximum. The usual. Security protocols apply." The Vax landing party was led by Commander Rix, who smiled too widely as he shook Tay's hand. "Your colony is impressive for such a young species," Rix said, looking around with hungry eyes. "We're simple people," Tay replied, following his script. "We focus on farming and some basic mining." Rix nodded, but his eyes caught the slight bulge under Tay's jacket. A hidden weapon. Something changed in the alien's expression. That night, as the Vax returned to their ships, Rick sent a message to his superiors. "Humans appear weak but remain cautious. Recommend increasing pressure." 3 weeks later, disaster struck. The unarmed human research vessel Explorer was studying a distant asteroid belt when 5 Vax warships surrounded it. "This is Captain Me of the Explorer. We are on a peaceful research mission in neutral space," Me broadcast. The Vax commander responded coldly. "This area is now under Vax protection. Your ship is being seized for safety inspection." Me knew what this meant. The Vax had crossed the final line. "Understood," she said calmly. "We will not resist." As Vax soldiers boarded her ship, Me pressed a hidden button, sending an emergency signal to Earth. Admiral Joe received the message during a meeting with Earth's leaders. "They've seized one of our ships," she announced. 42 civilians captured. Director Na stood up. "It's time for Iron Fist?" Joe shook her head. "Not yet. First, we show them the Velvet Glove has steel inside it." The next day, the Galactic Council received a message from Earth. Humans were implementing a complete trade embargo against the Vax Empire. The Vax ambassador laughed. "This is nothing. Humans have little we need." But within 3 days, 3 major Vax worlds faced serious shortages. No one had realized how dependent certain Vax colonies had become on human agricultural products. "How could this happen?" demanded the Vax Emperor. His advisors looked nervous. "The humans have been quietly establishing trade networks throughout the sector. Many worlds depend on their food exports." The Emperor slammed his fist down. "Find alternative sources." But there was worse to come. That evening, every communication screen across Vax space suddenly displayed the same message. "Complete Vax military plans including secret fleet positions and weapon capabilities. The message came with a simple note: return our people and ships immediately. This is your only warning. In the Galactic Council chamber, representatives from all species watched in shock as the Vax ambassador turned pale. How did they access our secure systems? He whispered. The human representative, Bay, stepped forward. We have been monitoring your network since first contact. Your technology is impressive but predictable. For the first time, the Council saw something new in human eyes. Not weakness, but controlled strength. The Vax returned the Explorer and its crew the next day. But the damage was done. The Vax Emperor could not accept such humiliation. Prepare the fleet, he ordered. It's time humans learned their place in the galaxy. On Earth, Admiral Joe received the intelligence report and nodded grimly. They're coming, she told Director Na. The velvet glove didn't work. Na looked out the window at the peaceful Earth below. Then it's time for the Iron Fist. The Vax attack came at dawn. 30 warships appeared above the human colony of New Horizon. The colony was home to 10,000 people, mostly farmers and scientists. It had no visible defenses. Begin the assault, ordered General Rex of the Vax fleet. Show no mercy. Humans must learn their place. Bright beams of energy shot down from the Vax ships, aiming at the colony's power center. But something strange happened. The beams hit an invisible shield and scattered into harmless light. What is this? Rex demanded, hitting his control panel. Fire again! The second attack failed just like the first. Then, to the shock of every Vax soldier, small doors opened in the ground around the colony. From these hidden bunkers rose defense platforms that no Vax scan had detected. Rex watched in horror as the colony's governor, Dal, appeared on his communication screen. This is your only warning, Dal said calmly. Leave our space immediately. Rex laughed, though his hands shook slightly. You are outnumbered. Surrender now and we will be merciful. Dal sighed. We hoped it wouldn't come to this. He pressed a button and suddenly every system on the Vax ships began to shut down. Engines, weapons, even life support, all stopped working. How is this possible? Rex shouted as his ship's lights flickered out. Our systems are protected by the best security in the galaxy. On Earth, Admiral Joe watched the situation from her command center. The wall screens showed every detail of the battle, or rather, the lack of battle. Activate Iron Fist protocol, Joe ordered. But remember, no casualties if possible. Across human space, hidden defense systems came online. Satellites that had appeared to be simple communication relays revealed powerful weapons. Ordinary-looking transport ships transformed into battle cruisers. In the Galactic Council chamber, representatives from every species watched in stunned silence as images appeared on the main screen. The screens showed detailed maps of every Vax, military base, every fleet position, and even the Emperor's secret bunker. The human representative, Bay, stood up. For 5 years we have endured Vax aggression while seeking peace, she said. Today, they attacked our colony with the intent to kill thousands of innocent people. This ends now. The Vax ambassador jumped to his feet. This is a trick. Humans are a primitive species. They cannot possess such technology. Bay smiled slightly. We let you believe what you wanted to believe. While you saw our farms and schools, you missed our true strength. On the screens, hundreds of small human ships appeared from hidden bases across the galaxy. Each one positioned itself near a critical Vax installation. We could destroy your entire military infrastructure right now, Bay continued. Instead, we offer peace. Real peace, based on respect. Back at New Horizon Colony, the Vax ships floated helplessly in space. Their life support systems had been restored, but nothing else worked. Dal spoke again to General Rex. We will tow your ships to the border. Your crews will not be harmed. Rex's face showed rage and confusion. How did you hide all this? Our scans found nothing. We've been hiding our true capabilities since before you found us, Dal explained. Your scans found exactly what we wanted them to find. On the Vax homeworld, the Emperor watched the reports with growing fear. The humans had mapped every Vax world, every base, every ship. They had technology that could shut down Vax systems with a button press. How is this possible? He asked his advisors. They were supposed to be peaceful farmers. His top scientist cleared her throat nervously. Sir, we misunderstood. They are peaceful farmers, who also prepared for war. Admiral Joe addressed the World Council on Earth. On screens around the planet, billions of humans watched. The Vax now understand our true position, she said. We prefer peace, but we are always ready for the alternative. This is the human way. We hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Director Na nodded in agreement. Today, the galaxy learned an important truth. Peaceful does not mean weak. Kindness is not a flaw. It is a choice made by the strong. The Galactic Council chamber was silent as the Vax Emperor's message played on the large screen. His once proud face now looked tired and worried. The Vax Empire officially requests peace talks with the humans, he said. We acknowledge our error in judgment and seek a new beginning. Ambassador Min sat with the human delegation, her face calm despite the historic moment. After years of tension and the brief conflict at New Horizon, the most powerful empire in the galaxy had admitted defeat, without a single death on either side. The council calls for a vote, announced the elderly council leader. Shall humans be reclassified from Category 3 to Category 1, peaceful but formidable? The vote was unanimous. Min accepted with a simple nod. Later that day, she met with Sue, who had returned from the Galactic Academy after sending the warnings that had helped Earth prepare. You knew this day would come, Min said as they walked through the council gardens. Sue smiled. We hoped it wouldn't. Humans truly want peace, but our history taught us to be ready for those who mistake kindness for weakness. The two women watched as representatives from various worlds approached them. Species that had once ignored humans now sought trade agreements and cultural exchanges. Funny how quickly things change, Sue observed. On Earth, Director Na met with the World Council in the Great Hall in Seoul. The room was filled with leaders from every nation. The Vax have agreed to all our terms, Na announced. They will respect our borders and pay compensation for the New Horizon attack. A council member raised her hand. And our proposal for new galactic laws? That was our most important victory, Na replied. Ambassador Min is presenting the Mutual Protection Act. Today, it will prevent any advanced species from exploiting developing worlds. Across the room, Captain Gill smiled. His ship had been one of those that escorted the defeated Vax fleet home. The best victory is the one where nobody dies, he said quietly. 3 months later, the first Interspecies Cultural Exchange Center opened on Earth. Sue had returned home to lead the project. The center welcomed visitors from 20 different worlds, including young Vax students eager to understand the species that had outsmarted their empire. Humans confuse us, admitted a Vax student named Zill during a class discussion. You have the power to destroy your enemies, yet you choose the harder path of peace. Sue nodded. Power isn't just about weapons, it's about choices. The strongest person isn't the one who can hurt others. It's the one who chooses not to. From Earth on a newly established colony world, Admiral Joe watched human and alien children playing together in a park. Her military uniform had been replaced by civilian clothes. Do you miss it? Asked Governor Dal, who had led the defense of New Horizon. Joe shook her head. I trained my whole life for a war I hoped would never happen. I'm happy to build something now, not just prepare for destruction. That evening, representatives from the Galactic Council visited Earth for the first time. They toured hospitals where human doctors treated alien patients, schools where children learned about distant worlds, and farms that grew food for a dozen different species. The council leader stood with Director Na, watching the sunset over the Pacific Ocean. You could have conquered the Vax, the leader said. Why didn't you? Na smiled. That's not who we are. Humans fight when we must, but we prefer to make friends. War solves one problem and creates 10 more. Peace builds something that lasts. Night fell over Earth. Humans and aliens looked up at the stars together. The galaxy had changed forever, not through conquest, but understanding. The species that everyone had underestimated had proven the greatest strength isn't found in weapons, but in the wisdom to know when not to use them. The Vax Emperor told his people a simple truth that night. We thought humans were weak because they sought peace. We were wrong. They were strong enough that they didn't need war to prove it.